Sawete Latin fours. Okay, so last week I gave you a video review of the noun system. Today, this week, it's gonna be the adjective system. And they're much simpler, is the good news. And you've already learned all of the endings if you've done first, second, and third declension nouns. So that's all good news. Now the first thing I want to explain about adjectives is what we call the law of adjectival agreement. Now, the law of adjectival agreement simply means that an adjective has to agree with the noun it modifies in three aspects, which you are thinking of right now. Pause. Got it? Gender, number, and case. Whatever gender the noun is, if the noun is singular or plural, whatever case the noun might be in, the adjective needs to match up. And the word adjectival is really kind of interesting, don't you think? Because an adjective in and of itself is not an adjective. The adjective, a word, is a noun, right? An adjective is a thing, so an adjective is a noun. But if you want to make the word adjective into an adjective, then we have to put a suffix on it, and adjective becomes adjectival, which is a really fun word to say. And here's what I think you should do if you're at home, is go to your bed and just kind of put your hands on the side of the bed like this, and we're going to kick our legs up in the air, and we're going to say adjectival. Now do that 100 times, and you'll really know this for sure. Okay, that's all we need to know about that. Right. How many declensions of nouns were there? 5. How many noun endings were there? Well, 50 if you do all 10 plus the neuters, 70. Well, it's like 80 endings. Adjectives have a total of 60. So there are two kinds of adjectives. And we might think of them as two different adjective families. We have what we call 2-1-2 or us, adjectives. And these kinds of adjectives use the same endings as the second and first declension nouns. So when I say us, I really mean us, o, orm, os, is. When I say I really mean I am, iron, is, and for the neuter, omo, orm, is. So us, or 2-1-2 is shorthand, stands in for using those 30 endings. The other family of adjectives are third declension. And the endings of third declension adjectives are very similar to the third declension noun endings. Let's write out the third declension chart. So we'll start out by putting a singular side and a plural side. And for singular and plural, we need masculine, feminine, and neuter in both of them. And then down the side, we'll do the cases, nom, gen, dat, ac, able. Okay, this is about to go in fast forward while you watch me write out the chart of endings, and I'm going to do it from down here so you can... Ta-da! Okay, you'll notice I left the nominative blank. That's because there are 3 different kinds of third declension adjectives. Some of them have the same form in all 3 genders. An example of that would be audox, audox, audox. If it's a masculine, it's audox. If it's feminine, it's audox. If it's neuter, it's audox. Many third declension adjectives have 2 forms, like omnis, probably the most common one, it means all or every. That goes omnis, omnis, omne. And there are some adjectives that have 3 different forms, like the adjective that means fast, keller, kelleris, kellere. So the nominative can vary, but let's say for most adjectives, it's going to go is, a. So an example of a third declension adjective would be omnis, and that declines
Omnis, omnis, omne, omnis, 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 omni, 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 omnem, omne, because the neuters, omni, omni, omni. Plural, omnes, omnes, omnia, omnium, 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 omnibus, 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 omnes, omnes, omnia, omnibus, omnibus, omnibus.
Those are all the endings you need to know. You've already got your usio-omo, a-ima, umi-omo, And here's the third declension system. That's it for adjectives. Here's what's tricky. Can you match up a first declension noun like puella with a third declension adjective? Sure, they won't rhyme, but they do need to agree on our 3 points of gender, number, and case according to the law of adjectival agreement. Well, if we had a nominative, we would say puella omnis. Genitive, puellae omnis, puellae omni, puellam omnem, puella omni. Plural, puellae omnes, all the girls. Puellarum omnium, of all the girls. Puellis omnibus, for all the girls. Puellas omnes, all the girls. Puellis omnibus, by, with, or from, all the girls. Could we also take a third declension noun and pair it up with a 2-1-2 adjective? Sure. Let's take a third declension noun like the word for man, homo hominis, and we'll say it is a good man, a bonus. So we would say bonus homo, boni hominis, bono homi, bono homini, bonum hominem, bono homine, plural, homines boni, hominum bonorum, hominibus bonis, homines bonos, hominibus bonis. So we can mix the nouns and adjectives, and it's important to know the endings so we make sure we can spot when things agree. When we start reading poetry, you'll see that poets, for a lot of different reasons, keeping into the meter of the poem and also to kind of create interesting word pictures, will separate a noun and adjective, maybe even in reversed order, and it's incredibly important to be really noting the endings so we can spot which words are in agreement. I'm going to send a little review sheet for you to write out 2 complete adjectives, and then a little practice of matching up adjectives and nouns to make sure we've got the right endings. That's the adjective system. Thanks for watching.